Yeah, BODS connection. Just now I connected this.
Show me the repository, sir. 6 tab, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's down there. 6 tab.
Huh?
No. Just it's six tab. 6. You see
6 tab.
projects. You are inside projects. Next to it is
Mm-hmm.
jobs, workflow, data flow. Now go to the bottom left corner.
Bottom left.
So can you see this is, as of now, it's on projects. Now move to the 6th one, data stores. One,
No,
two,
data store.
perfect. Click on
This
this.
one, right?
Yeah, please. You don't see any data stores, right? You're not having any repository inside. They need to configure it. Can you go inside HANA Studio?
So is it correct that this is a user ID is 04, repo is DS2? Is there any link or
No.
mismatch?
That should not be a concern.
Okay.
What if, sir, you go to, can you go to tools? I will push these data stores. Let me push these data stores. Then you can just take it from there. I want to load it. Okay. Yes, let me do it. Let's see if this helps. Add to central objects and dependence. No, I don't want to do this. Okay, Naren, can you please go to tools? Click on tools. Saranya, you can follow the same thing. Tools. Go to central repository.
Central.
Third last. Yeah, central repository. Now add central repository. Add. Just click on add.
Okay.
There's an option add. And now what you can do is, like, you can click on log on or double click on this on this repo ds central. Okay, now click on this repos ds central and click on this. Now click on activate. Now you go to the central repository. You see a debug tools, debug windows. No, not here, sir. Please go on the top left corner. There is project. Don't click on anything. There is project BO tools debug. Then below debug there is something yellow highlighted, right? Next to it there's a tile. Just click on it.
And the menu, top menu.
Go a little down, on right side, on its right side, this is local object library. Yep. No, left. This is project. No, go next to it, sir, on the right side.
These are disabled, right?
Next means on the right side. I will never go to the left when someone tells me. Yeah, please go on this.
Central object library.
Click on this.
Okay.
Now, can you please right click on this Isaac material? Now do get latest version. Now do objects and dependence. Perfect. Let's wait. Now you see this. Perfect. Now cross this. Now open the data store. Any connection, any database you open.
Can I close this?
Yeah, you can close this. Now, yeah, click on that plus sign on S4 HANA or ECC. Please click on the plus sign next, just before S4 HANA 2022 HDB HANA DB. There is something like plus sign. Yeah. Expand the tables. Expand the tables and just right click on the tables and do something like import by name. Right click on the table. Not here, sir. No. I'm saying, yeah, right click. Now import by name. Click write Mara. Saranya, I hope you are following the same steps. Import.
Yes.
Now right click on Mara and view data.
Right click on
Mara. There is a last table is Mara. Inside tables, the third one is Mara. Just right click on Mara.
Inside the.
Sir, inside tables, there are 3 tables. One is BAPI bus, one is BAPI, and the third one is Mara. Just right click on Mara and view data.
View data. Okay.
Yes. If you are able to see data, then we are good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perfect. You should be able to see the data for ECC, EHP8 as well. That is your ECC system.
Mm-hmm.
The one HDB HANA database is the something called as intermediate system. The HANA, it is HANA Studio or HANA DB. And your S4 HANA is your S4 HANA target system.
So this is S4HANA, right? Connected.
Yeah, this is S4 HANA.
Mm-hmm. And what about ECC? This one I have to do same thing.
This, yeah, you can also do like import by name, then Mara, and then you can see if you are having the access. Right click on it, import by name, say like Marcy, any table you remember in SAP. Sorry, SAP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mara, Marcy, anything.
Wait, it is not coming.
Right click on it. Yeah, now it takes some time. Say Marcy, import. Now check the data for Marcy. Right click and view data.
This one, yeah. So view data. Nothing. Oh, coming. Yeah, processing it.
Yeah, it should come. Everybody, please connect to RDP, then BODS, and connect with your personal repositories. Don't throw someone else out. Naren, can you please go to HANA Studio and show me if it's working for you? BODS is working for you. Just remember all these details.
I'll open this session, right? So
yeah, minimize this, sir. Just minimize
this.
this, then go to HANA Studio. HANA Studio is the third one. Yeah, please. Please connect. Let's ensure everybody is connected to the systems so that whenever we are doing anything, you do it also. You will remember all these details by doing this. Rather than listening to me, it's better we do it slowly so that everybody has a chance to try hands-on. How about the rest? Saranya, can you now connect? How do you now have the repositories?
Yes, Brad, I have it.
Okay, perfect. Now do the same thing. Check if you are able to see the data.
I'm able to see, but I have a feeling we'll be sharing the repo, right? Now, whatever Mara you guys saw, I see it on my end as well.
Just a moment. Hey, okay. Now, Naren, please connect to the system. They have already given you details. Like you have to click on that just below there, the file. There is file, edit, navigate. There's a plus sign.
I'll go through the steps.
No, just click on that. I will tell you how to do it. Just click
Oh,
on
you
that plus
are
sign.
guiding me? Okay.
I will just try. Just on top of that. On top of that, there's a plus sign. On top of systems. Just click on that.
This one?
Yes, sir. Please click on that. Click on project. Let's see what happens. No, not this. You have to connect to the system first. See, next to system, there's a cross button. But go to the right. No. Go down. Yeah, go down. Yeah, left side, left. Left.
Systems.
Between systems and monitor, there is one more tab. There is one more tile. Yeah. This one, perfect. Add system. Yeah. Click on this. Add system. Now they have already shared these details with you. What should be the host name, instance number, description? Just do that. And you should be able to connect to HANA, sorry, S4 HANA as well.
Okay, I'll try that to follow that. Thank you, Bart.
Here, as you told me, I followed that step.
Please go
here,
there.
Once I click this central object library.
No, I never said this is the first step. I said go to tools.
No, I have done that by seeing the steps what you have done.
Okay. Now what's the issue?
After
click on
clicking
this.
on this,
right click on this. Go to
get the latest version.
Object independence.
After clicking this, I am not getting this. The options are here.
Sir, please wait. They are already there. I will show you how to see them. Just cross these two.
Okay.
Cross this. Go to view, project, edit, view.
Okay.
Apply default layout. Now you should be able to see your repos and everything. See in the repo section. Now you have a project. Now you will be having some jobs. No, go to data stores, na, buddy. 7 tile is data stores. Go to bottom left corner, 7th one. No, this is data flows. Next to it is transform, then is data stores. Please go ahead. See, now you have, how come you have 6, 7? I think somebody already created ECC, HANA, DB, HDB. It's okay. It's okay. So we will use ECC 6, EP6 while extracting the tables. It's not an issue for you. So you are done. How about, this is Junaid, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you able to see my screen?
I can. Right click on this. Get latest version. Objects and dependents. What is the issue? Internal object and center report don't match some. Okay. Sir, do one thing. Click on OK. Refresh this object library. Top on the right side, extreme right. Extreme right is refresh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, please go there and refresh this. Now try to do it again. Okay, now activate it. Okay, now activate it. No. Get the entire project. No. Get the entire project. Get latest version, objects and dependents. Get latest version, objects and dependents. Okay, perfect. So Ram, perfect. So Ram, please be on. Ram, yes. Ram, yes.
Right, can you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir, I can. Okay,
So this
now,
is the one, right?
Perfect. Just see the data inside. If you can just check tables and then check if you are able to see the data for Mara, Marcy, anything.
Okay. How to add? I forgot.
Nothing. Just click on that plus sign on the tables. Just near to table, there's a plus sign. Just click on this. Now go down. Is there anything? No. Just click on tables. Right click on tables. Then import by name. Just write down any name, like Mara, Marcy, anything. LFA1, anything. BKPF. Oh my God. Now I'm afraid. BKPF. Looking at the BKPF data, I'm always afraid. BKPF and BSEC. So huge.
Because I have a FIC support, right?
Okay.
Then BKPF and how to check?
Right click, view data.
Same thing we need to add for a ECC also, right?
Yeah, you can do that. Add anything and you should be able to see the data. That's it. It means we have the connections. Perfect.
Yes. So I will add for the ECC also.
Okay.
Right. In ECC also I can able to download the data.
Perfect, sir.
Thank you.
We are good with at least BODS.
Okay. So data store connection is set when I'm trying to go for this S4 HANA.
Right click on this. Right click on S4 HANA. Okay. You can connect.
No. It is showing me an error like partner.
Right click on this. Yes, sir. Please go right click on this. It's okay. Right click.
Okay.
Then show. No. Wait. Where are the properties? Can you enlarge this? MTSAP server to wait. Okay, edit this connection. I will check what other details they have shared with me. Edit the detail.
It's not allowing.
So connect to the systems. We have already checked for BODS. Let me move to data harmonization. What is data harmonization? So the data harmonization is something like I want to harmonize my data. I'm having some 10 plants in my legacy system, and now I'm planning to dismantle a plant. I'm planning to just shut down a plant. Now, if I'm having some 10,000 materials extended to that plant, what will happen to those materials? I need the plant extension for them. So what we do is like we we prepare some reports and we share these reports with the data owners, and we tell them, hey buddy, if you are trying to tell me we will be dismantling plant 1024, what will happen to these 600 materials? Then he will give me like those XF files. He will tell me, okay, migrate this 1024 plant materials. Once you migrate these materials, then extend them to 2222 plant. That is called data harmonization. How we harmonize between the legacy system and the S4 HANA system. Same thing can go with material type. If I have, maybe I have half a, I have FERD, I have something else, service material. Now they don't want to use, let me take an example. They were having a material type Z underscore something, a custom material type. Now they decide they don't want to use it anymore. They will give me an XREF and they will tell me, okay, map this Z underscore something to FERT or to half a or something else. So when we do this type of thing, this is called data harmonization. Data harmonization provides the base for creating the cross references. Is this point clear? What is data harmonization? Before moving to data deduplication, this is an important concept and mostly expected during the interviews. Okay, I want to focus more on this part. But before going there, I had promised you guys, like I will be showing you some templates. One is the DDD, a sample DDD, and the second one would be the information steward rules template. Okay, so let me go to Drive. This is a sample DDD. You guys asked for a sample DDD and sample IS tracker. So this is how we create it. So inside each DDD, you will find 4 or 5 sheets. Okay. The first one would be the document control. So here what happens is like you'll be having an object ID. Whenever you go for the implementation, each object will be having an ID. Something ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4, anything. It depends on the business how they create it. So there will be an object ID, then there will be an object name, then it will be the document author, object owner, and the sign off date. As I mentioned, we will also maintain a document history, like the version controlling. The reason for doing this is, if I am assigned 40 hours for this task and later on during the audits, somebody asks me, why did you take 45? I can go back to this document history and I can show them, okay, these are the changes that we made and this is the reason we are taking extra 4 hours. And for each DDD, there will be something called the approvals. The business or the data owner will always give approvals to this DDD. Usually functional consultants create these DDDs, and if the data owner or the business owner, I'm going to say he is satisfied with the whatever has been written inside the DDD, he will give the approval. It depends, right? Then inside this, we have the extraction criteria. For example, for Mara or for Material Master, I can have, this is just a sample. We usually have the filter criteria on plants, on material types, on material groups. Okay. But as of now, I'm just showing you the sample. As of now, I can say like, hey, migrate only those materials which are not marked for deletion. So what is the deletion flag for a material? That is L-worm. So L-worm should be equal to blank. That is the extraction criteria. Then comes the actual part, the mapping. How do we map it? So for in each mapping document, there will be 2 things. One will be from the target point of view, one will be from the source point of view. You will always see like there is a table mentioned, there's a field, there's a description, data type, length of the field, and the transformation or comments mentioned over here. Now somebody can tell me, hey, why is this like, why are we duplicating this data? I am having the Mara Matner VPSTA, Mara VPSTA over here, and the same thing has been mentioned over here. But I am giving you a sample for ECC to S4 HANA migration. What if somebody is trying to move from Oracle? Then he will mention his table name over here, field name over here, and then he will tell you, okay, migrate this, maybe I can tell this table as, let's say, material underscore source. This is the table and they have a field name as material. He can tell you, okay, move this material to Mara Matner, because ultimately you would be dependent on this mapping document. What is the source? What is the target? And there will always be the check tables mentioned. What is this check table? Check table is simply a configuration table. If you are intending to migrate material type, then you should be having a configuration validation or check table validation on T134. How do we do it? That's a separate topic. I will discuss this later on in our sessions. So as of now, I'm trying to move the basic material data. So this would be my Mara and this would be my descriptions. Now, on the right hand side, they will mention something like this. If anything is in scope, it will be having something like 1:1. What is 1:1? Simply lift and shift. Whatever material Mara Matner is from the ECC, map it to the Mara Matner in S4 HANA. If it's not in scope, they will mention like not applicable or out of scope, something like this. It depends from project to project, but this is usually the naming conventions we follow. For example, he can tell me use an xref. Okay, in the comment side he can mention, okay, use the xref for material type. The moment I go to xrefs, he will be giving me the xrefs for this. Okay, this is my material type legacy. It's a FERT, finish good, move, change the FERT to half a, change XXXX to YYYY. This is how they manage the xrefs. If there are multiple xrefs, maybe 10, 12 xrefs, they can either maintain a single sheet or they can even create multiple sheets for this, like xref underscore material type, xref underscore material group, something like that. And then there can be additional note. If somebody wants to write some other criterias, some complex criterias he wants to write in. For example, they want to migrate materials, but they want to check MVs, maybe EINA table or something, cross company trading they want to check or something like that. Some complex transformation, they can write it over here just to maintain the simplicity of the documents. A document should not be complex. When I go to mapping, it should be pretty much clear to me. So whenever you guys will come on the floor or you guys try to migrate any object, the first thing you will be looking out is this mapping document. For example, now I look at these fields. What is the first step I would do? I would just go and I will check the load mechanism. I will check if I can use an IDOC. Okay, there's a mat mass. Then whatever fields are inside this DDD or mapping document, with where that are in scope, NA is out of scope. Okay, whatever fields are there, it should be in your load mechanism. For example, they are giving me some fields which is not in MadMass. Then what we will do? We will just try out a BAPI. If it's still not there, you could, at the end we use LSMWs, but we do not recommend LSMWs in the first go. First thing I will check in IDOC, I will check a BAPI. If they have some custom field like Z underscore something, then I will take the help from an ABAPer. I will create a wrapper on top of the existing BAPIs, or I can get my IDOC what do we call that? Extended, right? So it depends from project to project. So this is how a typical DDD looks like. A sample DDD. This is how it looks. But here, when you go to material master extraction, you will have so many tables. MARA, MAKT, MARC, MVKE, MBEW, MARM. So there are so many tables. This is just a sample, buddy. If data migration was so simple, then everybody would be doing it. Okay, let me go to the profiling rules, information stewards template. How do we design these information steward templates? And then from here, we go to information stewards and we create those rules, So what is the first thing? The first thing here is you will mention the source. For each and every object, there would be close to 140 to 170 objects that are usually in scope of data migration, 140 to 170. For each and every object, this is how the DDD will be. It doesn't matter to me, it's functional, transactional, anything. I don't care. What I care for is like this DD should be constructed in such a manner that everything is documented. If, for example, my business owner or my function owner comes later at some point of time, he tells me, hey, why are you not migrating this material? And when I know this material has been marked for deletion in the legacy, he can come to me later at some later point of time, why are you not migrating this material? I can go back to his DDT and I can show him, hey buddy, you have already mentioned over here LWOM deletion mark for deletion should be blank, so I will not be migrating these materials. So this is all the documentation. I cannot straight away go and do the migration without the proper documentation, because what usually happens is like there are so many data owners. For example, material master. Material master will be like for maybe let's take it's for 6 regions: UK, US, Germany, Poland. Then one owner will be like, hey, why did you migrate this? Second will be like, hey, why didn't you migrate this, right? If everything is well documented, then we tell them, hey, buddy, this is the Bible for us. You guys created this DDD based on some discussion, and we are following that. That's the reason I always tell you guys, whenever some changes are made to the document, always get that documented over here. Always have this section filled up. This, who is Alex? Let us take Alex as a data owner. Okay, for this pilot, Alex already approved these changes. He cannot go back at some later point of time and tell me, hey, I never said this to migrate the halfway or foot only. I asked you to move ABCD material type. He cannot do that. Okay, let me go to the information stewardship template. So for information stewardship template, you can mention the source over here. What is the source from where the data is coming? For example, I am as of now doing the profiling for quality system. I will mention something like Q10. You want to do profiling on the production system, right? You have so many systems like client 100, client 500. So you can mention that source over here. Rule ID, I want to maintain a unique rule ID for each and every object so that I can figure it out from the word, so by just looking at it. Okay, this is rule 001. I come back to this document, I check, okay, why is this rule created? Why has this rule been created? Okay, this is the rule description. Like, why are we creating this rule? We want to check how many materials have been marked for deletion from the source point of view. How many materials have been marked for deletion in source system at the plant level? Okay, what is the rule status? If at some later point of time we feel like, hey, this rule is not critical to my migration, let's make it inactive. Okay, so later at some later point of time when we initially create these templates, we keep on revisiting these sheets. Okay, is this active, is this critical, is this non-critical? Then based on the maybe developer and the functional owner, they take a call, okay, I don't need this, so I will simply make it inactive, but I will keep it here, you know. Then what is the source binding? You can create a rule. You can either have it from the target point of view or source point of view. For example, if someone tells me, okay, go and check how many materials have been marked for deletion in the target system. For example, I want to migrate bombs. Now, if a material is marked for deletion in the target system, you cannot create a bomb, right? Now, what I can do is like I can have a binding. This tells me, hey, this is a source binding. I can have some rule which are the target binding. It means I'm checking my data from the source point of view. I'm checking my data from the uh, what do we call that? From the target point of view. Then this is a quality dimension. Information stewards has different quality dimensions like integrity, consistency, accuracy. Then based on the understanding, we just define a quality dimension. As of now, I know like, hey, but this it depends on your experience. With experience, you will keep on you can update this yourself, like quality dimension. If I want to see how many materials have been created in the target system before I migrate my bombs, right? That would be a quality dimension like accuracy. There is no hard and fast rule. I can use integrity, you can use accuracy. It depends on project to project. The next thing is like SAP table. On which table I'm trying to create a rule. I know my for material at basic level in source, I'm using Mara. If I want to check the deletion at the plant level, I'm using Marcy. Then which is the field? LWOM. What is the description? This is deletion indicator. Then I will maintain these view names, you know. Sometimes I can simply extract the tables into HANA Studio, and we have seen it in the last session. What we did is like we imported that table and we directly did some profiling on that table. But sometimes what can happen is like you want to create a view. How to create that view in the information steward? I will show you. But sometimes what happens is like I want to check my materials marked for deletion at the basic level for sales org 0202. Then you cannot straight away use a table over there, right? What I will do, I will join two tables, Mara and MVKE, based on the filter criteria that's there for pilot, and I will create a view. What would be the view name? This is the view name. So we always follow some naming conventions so that the moment we have a look at the view, we understand what this view is for. For example, this view object name. Here object name would be material master. Mara. Okay, I'm doing something on Mara. Okay, Lworm source. It means I'm checking deletion indicator for Mara from the source point of view. View object, for example, view underscore material master underscore Marcy. Okay, I'm checking something at the plant level. What am I checking? This field L1 tells me deletion indicator from the source point of view. What is the view condition? So how are you getting the data into this view? As of now, I'm simply doing select star from Mara. Mara is my table, right? Because I'm just checking data for any plant, any sales organization. Whatever data is in Mara table, I'm checking it for that. So this is select star from Mara, basic view. If I'm checking for any plant over here, I can mention it over here. Select star from Marcy. This will pick up all the data from Marcy, where plant is equal to ABCD. This is just a simple view condition. If sometime later we want to see what this view, what this rule is doing, we can understand. If somebody knows SQL, he will simply understand it from here. Okay, this view is trying to do this action. Now, what is this rule condition? Rule condition is something which gives me the pass data. Each rule will have two sets of data, pass and fail. What is the pass percentage of data? How are we getting that pass? Then this is the condition. Lworm should not be equal to X. If I put Lworm should not be equal to X, it means materials are not marked for deletion. So this is how we design this information steward template. Again, I would say this is just a template we follow or I follow, but some other project can follow a different approach. They can have a different approach and they can design the template differently. There is nothing like this is recommended by SAP. Whatever suits to a project, they do it based on their needs. But this is what we usually do. This is how it usually looks. And for each object, you will be having close to 20-30 rules. Because if I take material master, they want to have a look. As of now, I'm just keeping it basic. Select star from Mara. But it doesn't happen like that. Whenever we migrate materials, we do not go there into the SAP system and pick up all the material and migrate it. No, there are different pilots. For example, I have material data in my ECC system. It's for UK, US, then India, then China, then Poland, then something else, maybe 50 countries or 60 countries. Then what I will do, each country knows what its plants are. For example, I want to check for India. India can have a plant 1, 2, 3, 4. In the first pilot, I will go there and I will write some conditions and I will just pick up the data for Mara only. Or somebody can tell me, hey, I just want to see the profiling results for my sales or 0202. Then I will create these views, I will create these reports only for the sales or 0202. For the sake of understanding, I'm just keeping it basic. Select star from Mara. But it won't be like this. There will be some joins for Mara with Marcy. What if I want to check only header materials or I want to check the general data only for plant ABCD? Then I will have some joins over here. I will show you each and everything, how we create these views, how we write these query in information stores, how we create these things. I will show you how do we create these reports, how does it impact the business decisions. Like some businesses, they align on something. If the overall score for my object is 50%, then only we can go ahead with migration for mock 1. We will meanwhile clean the data. But if somebody is having 90% failed data, what will he do? He will first clean the data and then migrate his or her data, right? They will first go with some other pilot. It's not like creating the IS rules and then straight away migrating the data. No. Based on these IS rules, based on these scores, business will take up the decision. They will come to the conclusion whether they want to go ahead with the migration or they want to go ahead with the cleansing first. Let me then start with dedupe. Please try to understand this because this is important. Dedupe is simply data deduplication. So where will this data deduplication come into play? When we have more than one source systems, and it will be for master data. Okay, I want to repeat myself. Data deduplication comes into picture when we have more than one source systems, and it's for the master data. Now let's take an example. We have source, I can't write or what? We have source for UK, I have source US, now China, and then India. Okay, now I'm trying to migrate materials. Now UK has a material, say 00001, and the description can be like Pepsi. Okay. Now US is having 001, but it's like PepsiCo. Same thing for them. Same thing for this company, same for this. Then they can say like Pepsi China, and they can say something like and these guys can say Pepsi _ India Limited. Okay. Now, I know this material, this is a duplicate, right? Or it's not important, like this is one, this is one, this is one. This can be 2, this can be 3, this can be 4. Anything. This can be material number 100, this can be material number 200. But ultimately what's happening is I have my source data in 4 different legacy systems. Now I want to migrate my data to S/4HANA system. The issue over here is I have duplicate materials. Now if I try to create material master in S/4HANA for this PepsiCo, let me say like I can try and create, it will be like Pepsi material number 1, again PepsiCo material number 2. Let me take an example of Pepsi China as 3 and this as 4. So if I do not take data deduplication into consideration, I will end up creating 4 materials which are duplicates. Now, if you go inside this Pepsi, it will be having, for example, it will be having the same material type. All of these 4 materials will be having the same material type, same units of measure. Everything is same when it comes to the master data. Maybe, let me take an example of same thing, Pepsi. Pepsi have a formula and they want to create 450 ml bottle. They have 450 ml bottle in US, UK, China, India, and they are doing their sales over there. They are selling it. But now they want to migrate to S/4HANA system. Now, I cannot migrate all these 4 Pepsi, PepsiCo, Pepsi China, Pepsi India Limited with the same data. The only difference can be, or it can also happen like Pepsi, 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 Pepsi. Everywhere it's Pepsi, but the material number is different. Now, I cannot move my duplicate data to my S/4HANA system. This is where the concept of data deduplication comes into picture. We simply call it data dedupe. So what we do is like, we will create a report. We will pass this data. We have a cleansing transform, which we call as match. We will pass this data through the match transform. For example, now I have something like UK, there is material number 1212 and it's called Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Now, when I pass this data through my match transform in data services, what it will do, it will try to do something like this. Okay, let me take an example. One, please try to understand. I will push this data inside data services match transform. Then it will give me something like group. Then it gives me something like number. I'm not sure about these terms, but this is the logic it does. Then it will give me like percentage. Okay. Now what it does, if data services finds out, okay, this is a duplicate, this will give it a unique group. 1, 1, 1, 1. It will give it 2. Okay. Then inside 1, it will give me something like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this will be 1. Then it will consider one of the 4 as master. Let us take this is a master. Okay. It will assign it something like M. And then rest of the percentages will be corresponding to the master. For example, Pepsi Limited, Pepsi India Limited, and Pepsi China. How many characters or something? How much data is matching for the description? Say for example 50%. Then it will give it a score 50. Say 45 is matching. Say 10% is matching. So it will try to give me a score. Now, whenever I have some group where I have more than one numbers assigned to it, I take it as a duplicate material. What I will do, I will send these materials to my business. I will tell them, hey buddy, I figured out you have duplicate data in your source system, and we cannot move all these four material to my target system, because now for my target system as for HANA, I'm not going to have UK, US, China, India. I have one source of truth. I will tell them, buddy, you have to tell me out of these 4, which one would be a master material and which one would be a slave material, or which one of these material is a winner material and which one of these materials is a loser material. Now let us take an example. They told me, hey, PepsiCo that is coming from US, let's make it as master and the rest will be slaves. Let's take that example. This Coca-Cola, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is like Coca-Cola US. This is Coca-Cola India, something like this, okay? Okay.
I mean, they have to give one specific rule, because if we have huge set of data, if they don't give one priority master rule, it's
No,
going to be difficult.
they have to give it. They have to, because
Yeah.
I do not want my master data to be a duplicate. Earlier, when I was not having a duplicate here, I was not about to send them this data. But now, since you told me to add these things, now I will tell them, hey, buddy, these are also duplicates. Let's say this is a group number 2, this is group number 2, then inside this, it will be 1, 2, and 3. Then let's say Coca-Cola India is the master. Then corresponding to this master, this is like 80% match. And this is say 70% match. Okay. Inside the data services, you can say something like you can set the score. You can set a parameter. If the record is 50% matching, then consider it as a match. Then only it will assign it a group. If something is like CO, only co, it will not. If the match percentage is less than 50, it will not even take it as a match. It will take it as a unique something else. It will not take it into a group. We have to set the parameter inside the data services. Now, again, they have to tell me which one of these they want to move as the master data. Suppose they told me this is master, this is slave, this is slave. Now I'm clear from the master data point of view, whatever data is coming for Pepsi China, this will be the data in Mara and MAKT level, right? All the data that is corresponding to Pepsi and Pepsi China. This master data will flow from my legacy. This Coca-Cola US will flow from my legacy, and it will be there at the master data level. I am done and dusted here. I will not be migrating these records. Whichever has been mentioned as a slave, I will not be migrating them at the master data level. But what about the sales data? What about the pricing conditions? What about the downstream objects? Now, if I have I'm selling this Pepsi. Now, this Pepsi will not be there in the target system now, right? Pepsi China will be there. What will I do with the transaction data of this Pepsi, PepsiCo, Pepsi India Limited? If my header material is not there, see, whenever I migrate my data from SAP ECC to S4 HANA system, suppose I am only migrating Pepsi China and Coca-Cola US. Now, corresponding to Pepsi China and Coca-Cola US, whatever transaction data is coming up, we can migrate it. No issues. But now, when I am trying to migrate, say, for example, MVKE data, when Pepsi and PepsiCo are not there in the target system, I cannot move it, right? Then what will happen to this data, to the slave data? What we do is like, I will repeat each and every point, but if anyone has any questions, please speak up. This is very important. This is the most frequent asked question in interview. Trust me. What is data deduplication? Because this is very important for master data. Now what I will do is, I will create an XREF here. I will say like master. Now I'm going inside BODS. How do we handle this? I will say slave. Now I know from the legacy, let me name it as 102, let me name it as 909, and let me name it as 009, something like this. Now, what I will do, I will keep a master as 909. For this, I will keep 909. Sorry. Master as 909. Now this will be my slave. I'm trying to create an XREF now. Now 102, this is like this, and then 9. It's like this. For these three material numbers, 909 is my master. What I will do is, I will create an XREF of this type. I'm showing you for only PepsiCo. Now I will be having this for Coca-Cola as well. Now for Coca-Cola, 1213 will be here. Okay, let me write it down. 1213 will be here and here. And on the left hand side, this is my slave. It will be here. It will be here, right? So what I am going to do, this Pepsi China, it will be at my header level. This will be in my Mara. This Coca-Cola US, it will be at my header level in my S4 HANA system. But now what will I do to my MVKE data, to my sales data? If I am using a pricing condition, I am moving bombs. How do I create a bomb? For example, let me take an example of bomb. In my legacy system, I had a bomb for this material. Now this material does not exist in the target system. How will I create this bomb now for this material? So what I will do, whenever I am trying to create data for the downstream objects or the dependent objects, I will chain the slave with the master. If in my legacy system, my bomb was created, my header material for the bomb was 001, I will change this to 909 in the target, because 0001 does not exist in the target system now, right? What exists is 9019. I do not want my transactional data to fail. For that reason, when I'm doing the transformations, I will change these slaves to master and then load it into S4 HANA system. Let me take the case of a vendor. For example, I'm trying to load business partners. I will again give you one more example for business partners. Now my business tells me, okay, this business partner is a master, and the second business one is master, two is loser or slave. So what I will do, one will go to my BUT 000 table, or BOT 100 and something else tables. The moment I come down to my LFB1 table, I come to, let me take an example. This business partner is a vendor. The moment I go to my LFB1, I go to my LFBK, I go to my LFM1 tables, I will not be having 2 over there because 2 is a slave, right? I cannot have this 2. Then what I will do, I will assign 1 to the legacy of, I will replace this 2 with 1 and attach it to 1. Now, see, for example, I am trying to load Mara, then I am trying to load MBK. Okay? In my legacy, this is my legacy, this is my S4. In my legacy, my material number was 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I found out 1, 2, and 3, 4, these are duplicates. Now my business owner told me 2 is the master. So at the header level, Mara level, I will only be having 2, right? Now let me take an example. 1, 2, and 3 is having the sales data now in the legacy. If I'm trying to move sales data for 1, 2, 3, it would expect 1, 2, and 3 at S4. But 2, 1, and 3 we didn't move because they are duplicates. We only moved 2 here, right? 2 is 1 and 3 are not there in S4 HANA system. Only 2 is there because 2 is the master material. 1, 3, and 4. Let me write 4 as well for your understanding. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the material in the legacy. We found out 1, 2, 3, 4 are duplicates. My business told me, okay, please go ahead and load header data, master data for only 1. Ignore 2, 3, 4 because those are slave materials. I'm done and dusted at the Mara and MAKT level. But now, when I'm planning to load my sales data, sales org data, when I try to load 1, 2, 3, 4, only 1 will get loaded. What will happen to 2, 3, 4? 2, 3, 4 is not there in S4 HANA system, right? What will happen with that? See, I will again go down to the elementary level. Let me say you have MVKE data set up like this. This is your Matner, this is your sales org. Now your Matner one is assigned to sales org 0909. Your 2 is assigned to 908. Your 3 is assigned to 809, something like that, 809. And your 4 is assigned to 888. Okay. Now this is your legacy data. When I migrated the header data, Mara data, to S4 HANA, I am not migrating 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4 are duplicates, and as aligned with my business, I will only migrate 1. Now, when I try to migrate 1, 2, 3, 4 ka sales data, I can only migrate for 1 because 2, 3, and 4, they do not exist. They do not exist at the header level. They do not exist. You can only migrate sales data when your material is present in Mara. You can only migrate plant data when your material has initially been created in the Mara table. Your sales data can only move when your material is present in Mara. Mara is the first step. Now when 2, 3, and 4, they do not even exist at the Mara level, how you cannot move this 908, 809, and 888 sales org data to S4 HANA system.
We have to use this lookup then.
Exactly. So what we will do is like, this will be your legacy, but if I go to my target system, this is how the data will look like now. This will be like 1, 1, 1, and 1. And all these 4 sales org details will be assigned to this. What it means is, initially, PepsiCo China was dealing with this sales org. PepsiCo US was dealing with this sales org. India was dealing with this sales organization. China was dealing with this sales organization. Now these are duplicates. We will no longer consider them as 4 different materials in S4HANA. It will only be one. Okay? Then these 3 sales org I have to attach to this material now. If you do not do this, then you will lose data. We do not want to lose data at any point of time. There should be no data leakage when it comes to data migration. What if you do not move the sales org data of 809? See, now forget 1, 2, 3, 4 existed in the systems.
Now in S4 we are having one material with 4 different sales organizations.
Exactly. Because this is just one material which was created in 4 different systems. US was having its own transactions with sales org 909, UK with 908, India with 809, and then China with 888. But now when these 4 are duplicates, I will not create duplicate entries in my S4HANA system. So what I will do, I will only create one material out of these 4 which has been aligned with the business, and then I will move my sales org data to that particular manner. Now, let me take an example of pricing now. When you are, for example, you had the pricing data set up for material 2. Now 2 does not exist in the target system. What you will do, wherever 2 was in the legacy system, you will replace that with 1. It means if 2 had some pricing condition, going forward, you will fulfill that pricing condition for 1. Because 2 is a duplicate. We are not migrating to. Pepsi, let's say this is Pepsi. Let me write it down. Pepsi USA, then China, then India. I am trying to say they created a material Pepsi 500 ml bottle, which is having material number 1 in UK, material number 2 in US, material number 3 in China, material number 4 in India. Now they can say like something like this: Pepsi 500 ml or something like China, something like this, or sorry, UK. The reason I'm giving a different description is because I want to explain how this match transform in BODS works. Otherwise, what most of the clients do is like this: they will never add this UK over here. They will simply write something like this. But it may happen like there is a new data consultant who did something like underscore UK. What will you do? Nothing. You cannot tell him why do you did that, right? You just want to mention some other name. Or someone in US, he named it as 500 ml. Someone named it as Pepsi 500 milli, right? People can do this. Somebody can write something like 0.5 liter. Somebody can do this, right? Now what I'm trying to tell here is material number. Please don't go by the material number, because material number, SAP can generate any material number. The point here is these are duplicates. These are being stored in 4 different SAP systems. There are 4 different legacy systems, and I'm trying to migrate data from 4 different legacy systems into one SAP S4HANA system. I will not move 4 duplicate materials and create 4 duplicate materials in my S4HANA system. No, I will not do that, because I should be having one source of truth. Now this sales org 909, this is, for example, PepsiCo has a channel partner, say something like Accenture. They are supplying Pepsi to Accenture. So they have 909 sales org over there. USA is supplying to some other sales org, say TCS, right? They have different sales organizations. But I will not create 1, 2, 3, 4, 909, 809, 809, 888 and create duplicate entries at the header level. I will create only one material which has been aligned with the business, and then I will move the corresponding line items accordingly. Because if I only move one, I should only be able to move 909. But what will happen to these 3 sales orgs? I have to do business with them, right? In my system it changed, but down the line when I again do business, this should not change. I have to supply the same Pepsi 500 ml to 908 sales or 809888. For me, it was just because of description or just because of 4 different source systems. I was doing business independently. Now take an example, there was a merger and acquisition. I was doing my business independently. UK was doing his business independently. Now we figured out that these are the duplicates. Why will I have duplicate items in my S4 HANA system? I will create one material and I will supply to all these sales organizations. This is very important topic in master data. And it's very important not to have the duplicate items in your S4 HANA system. What is data deduplication? Why do we do data deduplication? And what happens to the line items? Master data, everybody knows, okay, I will move the master, I will drop off the slave. But how do we migrate this line items for that slave later on? That we need to take care. You cannot migrate the master and whatever line item, plant, sales org is there for the slave. You cannot leak that data. If you leak any data, you are losing dollars, euros, and that's not what a client expects us to do. The moment I set parameters, then data services takes one of these as the master, then it assigns a percentage. Let's take an example. Like I will take an example like this. Okay, just give me a second. I want to show you. For example, let us take an example. This is the data. Okay. Now, what data services does? Let's say this is Pepsi. This is Pepsi. Let me make it 10 characters for easy understanding. This is 5. I will name it as Pepsi. I name it as Pepsi. Okay. Now I name it as Pepsi Pep. I name it as Pepsi P, just for the sake of understanding. Pepsi P. Okay. And I name it as Pepsi India, something like Pepsi only. Now let us take an example here. Now what happens is like data services, let's say data services took this as master. Now this Pepsi is having 10 characters. If how many characters are matching? Pepsi Pep 7, right? So data services will give it 70% is matching. How many are matching? Fourth, let's say like Pepsi, no, 538. This is like 80% score. Okay. Now say this is like 70% score. Now let's say this is 50% score. Okay. Now let's take an example. We have set the parameters in such a way. We are taking only such values as matches where the score is greater than 50. We can set the parameter. Hey, I want all such records to be grouped together or to be counted as duplicates where the score is greater than or equal to 50. What if it comes like Pep? This is only 30. So it will not assign it as a duplicate. It will give it 2, 1, and maybe master. It will tell me, hey, this is not a duplicate. This is how data services works internally. No. When it comes to duplicates at the master data level, I mean everything is same. My business tells me, hey, can you please do some analysis on the description? For these 4 materials, I am assuming everything is same. It's only the description that is not same. One is maintaining Pepsi UK, one is maintaining Pepsi US. But Pepsi can be sold in liters, right? For all these 4 materials in 4 different systems, unit of measure would be liter. Everything would be same. Material group is same. Material type is same. Everything I am assuming same. Because these are duplicates. If the material type is different, if the unit of measure is different, then it's not a duplicate, right?
Okay.
Pepsi cannot sell Pepsi in India in liters and in US in kgs. That's a different SKU. They have Pepsi 500 ml is just one SKU, and Pepsi 250 ml is different SKU.
Okay.
I'm just telling you for the example. Okay, let me give you one more example. Suppose I have a vendor. Now your vendor, let me say Lifner. Lifner is vendor number. Now my name. Now say system. Suppose I am MRF and I'm doing business with maybe 10 different regions in 10 different regions in 10 different countries. Now Lifner MRF system is UK. Now Lifner maybe 32, 23, same MRF. Now system is US. I'm giving you a vendor example now. Forget material. Now 12, same MRF. He is dealing with Germany. Okay. Now what happens is, like, I want to move my vendor data. When I check this data, MRF will be having the same address, same email ID, same telephone. Everything at the header level will be same account group, same city, same address, same telephone, same email. Everything will be same, right? Same bank account, because MRF is MRF. I'm just dealing with 4 different locations. Now I will not move these 3 different listeners to my target system, right? Because you are duplicating your data. Then now I want to move to S4HANA system. I will only have one vendor, say MRF, and then rest 2 will go, like they will be slaves, and then I will just attach the slave line item data to my master data, to my to the vendor that's in S4HANA, residing in S4HANA right now. No, usually what happens in the discovery phase, my client tells me, hey, can you please have a look at the whenever there are more than one source systems. So whenever somebody asks us in the interview, you would usually notice it. He will ask you, okay, you migrated data, how many source systems were there? If you tell him one, he will not ask you the data deduplication questions. But the moment you tell him we had more than one source system, he will come to the data deduplication, because whenever we have more than one system, there will be data deduplication. Now your client will tell you, can you please do one thing? Can you extract the data from UK source, and can you extract the data from US source, and try to find out if there are any duplicates? It can happen. I can tell you one more example. So there is an example. There is something called intercompany trades. What happens is, like, for example, Hero Honda. Hero Honda is manufacturing in India, then it's selling its bike to Africa, and then Africa sells it over there. But Africa cannot sell it without having a material number in their systems. So what they do is, like, if India has a material number 1, they will simply name it there as 1_IN. Simple, I_IN. It means this is the or 2_IN. It means material number 2. It is being sourced from India. Now if Africa and India try to club together their data sometime later, now 1_IN and 1, this is the same material, only the intercompany transactions are happening. I am manufacturing in India, and I am giving to my counterparts in Africa, and they are selling it over there. If you again try to move the data, this is the exact same material. Again, this can lead to the data deduplication. So then what happens is, like, then these 2 business owners sit down somewhere, they have their call, then they decide, okay, buddy, this is your material, I am selling it in Africa. Are you going to sell it? Are you going to provide this are you going to sell the same material going forward? If African guys tell us, yes, we are planning to sell it the same material number, then they tell us, okay, then 1 will be the material number in S4HANA system. For your pilot, please prepare an XREF. Wherever there is 1_I, change it to 1, or change it to 1 in the S4HANA system, because 1_I and 1 is a duplicate, because intercompany transactions are happening. S4HANA is for that only. Whenever there is merger and acquisition, or you are clubbing to, you are planning to use like you are having 6-7 ECC systems, so and then you are planning to use one S4HANA system, you will definitely have data from 4 different systems, and you are clubbing it together into one S4HANA system. You will always have one source of truth now. For example, in ECC, what used to happen is, like, customers and vendors were 2 different entities, right? Now, MRF is something who is, I am MRF. I am selling my, say I'm selling my tires to someone. Okay. But say I am selling tires to Brad. MRF is selling tires to Brad. For MRF, Brad is a customer. But again, MRF is trying to get the rubber from Brad. Now for MRF, in MRF SAP system, Brad will be in the customer, Brad will be in the vendor. When it goes to S4HANA system, S4HANA system does not take customer and vendor. It takes business partner on top of everything. It will not create two business partners for me. It will create one business partner and then assign two roles to me, right? One customer role, one vendor role. So what will happen now? It cannot for MRF. I am the customer, I am the vendor, but I in my LFA1 I have entry, in my KNA1 I have my entry. Then pertaining to KNA1 I have my entries in ADR2, ADR3, ADR6, ADRT, and then inside for LFA1 as well I have a different address number, right? If I now migrate these customer and vendor to my S4HANA system, it takes a business partner. So does it mean I will create two business partners for Brad with the same exact details? No.
No.
They will decide, okay, let's create Brad as a business partner over there, and then I will assign you two roles. Then now at the header level, BOT000 level, there will be only Brad. At the address level, only one entry.
Okay.
Unique entry. Yeah, there are so many examples. But this is the overall logic for data deduplication. Why we do it, I have already shared so many examples why we do it. Because we want to have one source of truth. I don't want to have my master data to be a duplicate or to be inconsistent. If at some point later point of time I want to create a PO or SO, I will not today create it for Brad 1 and tomorrow for Brad BP number 2. No, Brad is Brad 1, Brad only. Usually when somebody uses SAP system, they do not care about the material number. For them, description is everything. If you see how they create these entries or how they load, I mean to say create these purchase orders, sales orders, you will always see those business owners, they will search it based on the description. For them, material number 1 and 2 and 3 does not make sense. For them, MRF makes sense, PepsiCo makes sense. Then going forward, they will create it on PepsiCo and internally the system will save it on one. If you sit with any business or data owner, whenever you load data, you will then sit with the data owners, and the moment they validate, for them these numbers do not matter. For them, what matters is the amount, the money, and the description for a material, for a customer, for a vendor. For them, at the end of each and everything, they should not lose any money. They should not lose any transaction data.
With all this data into one system in the S4HANA, are you still going to use this approach in doing that?
Exactly. What I will do is, like, for example, my client has two systems. One is like they are having Oracle system and they are having ECC system. I will just get the data into my HANA Studio from two different systems and I will prepare a report. For me, it doesn't matter where the data is. For me, what matters is how this data is going to reside inside S4HANA. I do not want to create any duplicate entries over there. I want to maintain the integrity of system. It doesn't matter to me from how many systems the data is coming. I will extract the data from those many systems and I will write some queries, write some code and prepare a report and find out how many duplicates are there based on the client inputs. He tells me, hey, I want to check the duplicates based on description. I will do that. If he tells me, no, I want to do the analysis based on some other field, he will tell me the field and we will do that analysis. And then he will come up with this like, hey, this will be master, this will be slave. These are the duplicates. But yes, when it comes to S4HANA system, you should not migrate duplicate data. That's for sure. Because it will definitely impact you down the line. Usually when we move data from legacy to S4, for each region there is a data owner. And they will have some continuous calls, and it will go down for 2-3 weeks. They do not settle down on something in a single call. I have my personal experience on this. They keep on fighting. That's true. Somebody tells them, no, I want this to be master. Somebody tells them, no, I want this to be knocked out of the system. But ultimately they conclude on something. Hey, we want this material to be here, and it will always be aligned. For example, there is an intercompany transaction happening. Then the person who is procuring that material and the person who is manufacturing that material, those two data owners will sit down and they will discuss, okay, we are going to design our new system this way, and going forward, we are going to create POs, SOs this way. So there is always be alignment at the top level. at the data owner level, because if you communicate or if you interact with any data owner, they know their data like the palm of their hands. They know each and everything about their data, so they will not let it happen without their alignment. And it's not like they tell me make this master and make that as slave without documentation. Each and everything has a proper documentation, and if at some later point of time somebody else is taking, for example, I as company ABC is trying to migrate data, but because of some reason they move to vendor XYZ, they were not happy with our migration, then how will they know what is happening? So that's the reason for any project there's a lot of documentation. Everything will be documented. Hey, we have to do this, we have to do that. So it's not like I will be doing something and in the back end somebody is not aware of this and he will shoot his IDOC and then he will not be able to create the SOs POs. No, it doesn't work that way. If they are giving me some logic, they will give the same logic to Magda team. They will give the same logic to what do you call this, MDG teams. Everybody has to follow the same thing. They have to remap. Yeah. If anyone wants me to go from the scratch and explain this again, I would be happy to do that. If anyone has any questions, please speak up, because this is important.
How exactly are we going to achieve it in the match transform? Like in the bots, we are going to use this transform and create some kind of a staging table, and that table will be called an information steward from our side.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that, buddy. See, for example, I have my Mara. Suppose I have my Mara. I'm using two different sources. Now, for example, what happened to this? Somebody is trying to mess these systems up, Okay. For you take an example. Suppose this is my UK system and this is my US system. You do not think these are ECC and SAP S4HANA system. Let's forget about ECC and S4. This is, let's say this is UK system. So what I will do, I will get this data from here. Just a moment.
You will merge both those details in one table, and
Exactly.
then you're going to apply the match transform on the merge table.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to do. I will merge each and everything, and then I will pass this data through my match transform, which is readily available in data services.
Based on whatever column they save for duplicate, you are going to apply on top of it, and then that final stage table will be looked over in information steward.
Depends. If you want to push this data into information stewards, okay. If you want to create an Excel report on top of that and share with the business, okay. It depends. Can you please everyone do one thing? In your repository, create a project, name it something like PJ underscore your name and maybe a material master, something like that. Then create a job and extract Mara and MAKT into HANA Studio. I want everyone to do this.